What is up, everybody? It is your boy Razorbacks Rule, and welcome back to another prediction video. Today we are going to be doing the Georgia Bulldogs. The Georgia Bulldogs, a team that had a real good season last year under Carson Beck, and I think got screwed in the playoffs a little bit. But they come into 2024 looking like they're going to be one of the best teams in all of college baseball. Looks like football. Looks like they're going to be the new dynasty. Can they uphold that hype? Well, we'll look at this schedule. Seems to be a little bit of a toughie here. They get Clemson in Atlanta. They do get Clemson in Atlanta. I think Clemson, last time these two teams faced, Georgia beat them 10-3. It's going to be a lot different now. Carson Beck versus Cade Klubnik. So this will probably be where College Game Day will be for the first week of the season, because Clemson and I think both of these teams are going to be ranked, but it's going to be at 11 a.m. and I just don't think it's going to be at 11 a.m. I just don't think Clemson has the talent to compete with an SEC powerhouse like Georgia. I think Georgia will take the. I think Georgia's going to take this one pretty. I think Georgia's going to pretty much take care of business here. It'll be a little closer than what people expect, but I think Georgia takes care of business to start off 1-0. Then they easily beat Tennessee Tech. You know, no SEC team loses to FCS teams. If you lose to an FCS team, then you have a problem. All right, so you got 2-0. Now you go on the road at Kentucky. The Kentucky Wildcats coming in ranked at number 23 in the country. They have a 7-5 record, and don't know too much about them, but I really don't think they should be ranked. I think they're going to be like at least another mediocre 7-5, and personally, I think Georgia's going to take care of business on the road. I think Georgia will take care of it 3-0, but then they get a big one here on the road at Alabama. Good news for Alabama is they don't have to deal with Nick Saban anymore. You get Kalen DeBoer and Jalen Milroe are going to. Kalen DeBoer's the new head coach who led Washington to a national title. Then you get Jalen Milroe. Basically, Alabama's kind of lost a little bit of talent, but they got a little bit of talent returning as well. So everybody is thinking Georgia is going to roll. No, I don't think so. I think this game is going to be a little bit closer than everybody expects. I think Alabama will compete for three quarters, but in the end, Georgia will pull some magic. They go on a little bit of a rally, and they put this one away to start off 4-0 on the season. Then they get Auburn at home. Auburn is like a mediocre team, and Georgia's got a little bit of a streak going against Auburn. I think it's going to continue. I don't think Auburn's going to play well in Athens. I think they're going to get this one. That'll mean they'll start 5-0 on the season. Mississippi State's going to be next. I really don't expect much from Mississippi State next year. I think Georgia takes care of business here to go 6-0. But then they get a big test here. This is going to be another great matchup. Georgia at Texas. The Texas Longhorns, probably one of the best teams in all of college. Texas. This is going to be a really exciting matchup for both of these teams at Texas. Personally, I could see this game going either way, but I think Georgia I think this will be a real close game, but I think Georgia's going to pull some magic through, and they get the win on the road at Texas to move to 7-0. Then they get Florida and Jacksonville. I got to add that one in here. I forgot to add it. They get Florida and Jacksonville. I think Georgia will take care of business. Florida, they're not going to be a real good team next year, so I think Georgia's going to take care of business. Then they get another toughie at Ole Miss. Wow, they get 3 games on the road. Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to be a real good team next year. Ole Miss is going to be looking to get a little bit of revenge of what happened last year. And honestly, I could see this game being a real close one as well. Heck, maybe Ole Miss could upset them, but I don't think so. I think Georgia will take the win and go to 9-0 on the season. Then they get Tennessee at home. They get a new QB coming in with Nico Amalavia. And and Josh Heupel. And I think the future is bright in Tennessee with that new quarterback, and they got Dylan Sampson. Future's bright in Tennessee, but I think Georgia will take this one. Sorry, Tennessee, you're not on the level yet, but you'll get there. So 10-0. So I got them at 10-0. Then they beat UMass pretty much easily. I don't really expect much from a team like UMass. So 11-0. Then they finish off the season just like they do every year with their annual non-conference rival versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, they got a pretty good team. Get Haynes King coming back. Personally, I think this Georgia Tech team is going to be much better. It's going to be a little bit better than last year. And Georgia Tech gave the Bulldogs a heck of a fight last year in their own stadium. And I maybe they could do it. I think Georgia Tech gives Georgia a little bit of trouble in the first half, but since it's in Athens, in the second half, I think Georgia's going to pull away. I got them winning. That means I got the Georgia Bulldogs finishing off the season at 12-0 with an 8-0 record in the SEC. So yes, I do have Georgia going undefeated for the third year in a row. The guarantee, but I won't say this is not a guarantee. This ain't a guarantee for Georgia because they have to go on the road to Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss. 3 of those are going to be tough games. It's not a guarantee that Georgia will go 12-0. So far with these 3 games, Georgia could drop Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss. Georgia could drop one of those. Georgia could lose one of those games. I mean, 12-0 is not far-fetched. They could drop one of those games on the road. I would lean personally on either Texas or Ole Miss. Georgia, they could drop one of those games and go 11-1, but I don't think it'll happen. I think Kirby Smart is a next great head coach. I think Georgia will have another fantastic season at 12-0. But again, it ain't guaranteed.